So this building is going to allow us to basically double our capacity in terms of manufacturing and also office space. So it's going to allow us to take a company that was started 9 years ago and basically double its size in revenue. You know, I was pretty nervous getting into this. It was a big undertaking. There's a lot that goes into it, but having a good contractor, you know, helps you work through the process.
When you're working with Derrick Building Solutions, you'll get a full-service general contractor that handles every aspect of the project, from design all the way to the final clean.
We've never built anything like this before, and knew that we would need probably a little extra help on the front end of getting things going, and so definitely glad that we picked Derrick.
So what we got here is a 50,500 square foot pre-engineered steel Butler building. The nice thing about Butler is how custom we can get with the buildings. The opportunities are endless with how you can design these buildings. You know, you can certainly make it look like the building we have here for Rock Shield Rubber, but you can also make it look like a storefront like it would in a downtown setting.
The owner comes to us and just tells us what they want.
Good afternoon and welcome to Grandview Park for today's matchup between the Eau Claire North Huskies and your Hudson Raiders. Before we begin, here is a message from this year's captains. Tonight, we have the opportunity to recognize and celebrate our 2025 graduates along with their parents for their participation and dedication to Hudson baseball. This year, we have 6 seniors. Mitchell Anderson, parents Chris and Kelly. Mitch will be attending Bethel University to play baseball and advance his academic career. Bennett Brathel, parents Corey and Jen. Bennett will be attending Concordia St. Paul to play baseball and study hard. Silas Heisler, parents Rico and Carrie. Silas plans to attend University of Northwestern St. Paul to continue his academic career while playing baseball. Nick Hirsch, parents Steve and Pam. Nick will be attending Wabash Valley College to play baseball and study sports management. Steele Homey, parents Dean and Sonia. Steele will be sticking around and starting his career. Hopefully, this will include some time for his ankle to finally heal up. Hunter Oswald, parents Bill and Tracy. Hunter will be attending Dakota College at Bottineau for school and baseball. Please make sure to stick around after the game to help us celebrate these amazing families. Now, let's meet today's starting lineups. First, for the Eau Claire North Huskies. In left field, number 4, Levante Bean. Right fielder, number 11, Caleb Moss. Catcher, number 2, Jack Gorman. Center fielder, number 12, Aiden Pankrantz. Designated hitter, number 9, Paxton Bush. Shortstop, number 10, Zach Shipman. First baseman, number 18, Cameron Buckman. Third baseman, number 14, Mason Bruzewitz. Second baseman, number 15, Aaron Gust. Pitching for the Huskies, number 5, Ben Metler. Head coach for Eau Claire is Jordan Fish. And now the starting lineup for your Hudson Raiders. Leading off, the designated hitter, number 1, Steel Homey. At second base, number 5, Sam Abrahamson. The catcher, number 3, Logan Hagman. Batting cleanup, the shortstop, number 8, Jace Metazinski. First baseman, number 11, Bennett Brathel. In center field, number 10, Sam Manchester. At the hot corner, number 9, Silas Heisler. Right fielder, number 13, Spencer Bullis. In left field, number 17, Hunter Oswald. And pitching for the Raiders, number 2, Mark Sousa. Head coach for the Raiders, Brent Legan. Now at this time, would you all please rise and honor America by removing your hats for the singing of the national anthem performed by Hudson's senior Mitchell Anderson.
By the dawn's light, what so proudly hailed at the twilight's last, and bright stars through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallant, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave? Good job, Mitchell.
All right, here we are, folks. Baseball time up at the castle. Eau Claire North Huskies into town to play your Hudson Raiders. Mitchell Anderson, senior pitcher, just did the national anthem, did an excellent job. Good to see him up here. He had a heck of a game the last time we covered this team, which would have been a couple weeks ago when they played over at New Richmond. It was a hot day that day. Jeff, let me tell you, it was about 88 degrees, and we then turned around and covered a softball game that was about 40 degrees and windy about a week later. So that's just your Wisconsin weather this time of year.
Oh, that'll give you a whiplash for sure. Now, I bet most of you are thinking, gosh, Ken sounds different tonight. Ken is away. He's on a beautiful vacation, and I just volunteered to step up and fill in his role. So
you've done this before.
I've done it before, that's for sure.
Your normal role, you're a camera guy a lot of times for us, which is a little bit of an unheralded position. We've got another Jeff down there tonight running the camera. But, yeah, we did a softball game together last year. You've jumped on the football broadcast, I think, a couple times. So
absolutely, yeah. I'm eager to get back at it, and I'd be remiss if I didn't announce that Mr. Seth is going to be joining us in the booth tonight.
I am here.
How are you, Seth?
I'm doing well. Thank you for letting me join you guys again. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you for jumping on.
Yeah.
And we've got some fun stuff to talk about today. We'll get to it as the game goes on, but this is the last week of the regular season. The Raiders in prime position to win conference. One game up on New Richmond, who's right behind them. So 2 games for Hudson, both against Eau Claire North this week. If they win them both, they're outright conference champs. If they split, Then you have or possibly a shared conference championship. But
Leading off for the Huskies, left fielder number 4, Levante Bean.
So high stakes game.
high stakes game. We'll get into a little bit more about where the season goes from here. But Mark Souza on the mound, your typical Tuesday pitcher for the Raiders. Ooh, line drive foul. Curveball in there, just hung a little bit. Bean is the leadoff batter. He's the left fielder.
Now, last week it was against Rice Lake, I believe. The last game the Raiders played, that wind was blowing in from left field. It played a lot of games with the outfielders, but I don't really feel much of a breeze today.
Looked like that one. I thought might hit him, but must have bounced right in front. 1-1. No, tonight's just kind of calm. I mean, it's not warm. I think it's about 60 degrees. We had a little bit of I don't even want to call it a drizzle, just kind of spitting out there. Fastball popped up. That's foul.
It'd be nice if we could say it was clear skies and a nice warm breeze, but unfortunately that's not the case.
I'm okay with that.
Me too.
It's we're gonna get enough hot days coming up, and those mid 80s were tough. 1-2 curveball swings. Hagman gets it out of the dirt, throws down to first for out number 1. So strikeout.
Yeah, got him swinging at that one in the dirt. That was a good pitch there from Sousa.
Very good.
Right fielder number 11, Caleb Moss.
So the North Huskies are sitting at 7-5 in conference, so they're kind of right in the mix. We'll take a look at the seedings for the playoffs coming up here as the game progresses. Ground ball over to Abrahamson, easy 2-hopper over to Brathel for out number 2.
2-0. Gentlemen, what can we expect to see today from Eau Claire North?
Always a good baseball program. I would say, North in a lot of sports has struggled. We cover football, and there was
Catcher,
a stretch
number
there
2,
where they
Jack
had about
Foreman.
4 years where they didn't win a game even. It was painful to watch. That one's outside. Baseball has never been that case, though. They've always been tough. I would expect, we'll see what the pitching looks like today, but they'll be a tough out in the playoffs for sure. 1-0, got the corner that time.
Well, if there's one thing I know about the Raiders, they are not going to go down without a fight.
They've got a good baseball team. Yep. Good group of players. Went to state last year. Curveball gets a little away from Sousa that time. Just didn't bend enough. I got to catch Mark a little bit on the game when we did it was a doubleheader when they played New Richmond. And again, just a sophomore. Seeing him stand over there up by the dugout. He's about 6'5", I guess.
He's got some nice pop on his fastballs, too.
He does, yeah. 3-1. Pitch a little high. So Gorman draws the 2-out walk.
Center fielder number 12, Aiden Pancrantz. I've seen Sousa a couple times this year, and a couple times I've noticed he gets those 2 quick outs and just can't quite finish off the inning.
Yeah, that game against New Richmond, again, a good team. He had a couple of innings where he got into some trouble, got himself close to getting out of it, and then he ended up going 0-2 against 2 batters and ended up hitting both guys. So that walked in a run. But again, keeping in mind, this is a sophomore. Fastball fouled off. So some things to learn, but certainly a big-time pitcher for this Raider team and a big-time prospect.
Yeah, 6 seniors graduated. Today is senior night, so they'll be honoring those 6 seniors, but a lot of young players coming up, too.
Yep, thanks for bringing that up. Good scoop by Brathel that time. We'll make sure we highlight those young men. Looks like, or sounds like many of them are going on to play baseball at the next level, too. So that's another thing that's happened a lot with this program in the last few years. Ooh, that one gets away from him.
Yeah, that was behind the batter. I count that as a wild pitch. Gorman goes down to second.
That is a wild pitch. You are correct. I don't think it'd be fair to say Logan Hagman had a pass ball on that one.
No chance at that one.
No. Hagman does a good job of communicating with his pitchers. Takes a quick trip out to the mound just to calm him down a little bit. 2-1. Gorman, the runner at second. Souza looks at the runner, comes to the plate. Line drive right to the
what a
glove
catch.
of Sam Abrahamson to retire the side. For the North Huskies, no runs, no hits. They leave one after 1/2 inning. Eau Claire North 0. Hudson coming up.
When you're working with Derek Building Solutions, you'll get a full-service general contractor that handles every aspect of the project, from design all the way to the final clean.
You know, I was pretty nervous getting into this. It was a big undertaking. There's a lot that goes into it, but having a good contractor, you know, helps you work through the process. We've never built anything like this before, and knew that we would need probably a little extra help on the front end of getting things going. And so definitely glad that we picked Derek.
Leading off for the Raiders, designated hitter number 1, Steel Homie.
Steel Homie.
Is that his real name, Still Homie?
Yeah,
or is that
isn't that cool?
That is
He was a quarterback in
incredible.
football. We just loved having fun with old Steel Homie. Ken, of course, is like, all right, homie, let's go, homie. I just thought it was a tough football name, Steel. Ground ball foul. So
Well-
bad wheel for Steel. No,
Yeah.
that wasn't intended, but he mentioned his ankle. I think that was a football injury too, because he ended up missing half of the part of the season last year. So ankles can be a bugger. I tell you what.
Well, especially for a guy who likes to run, too.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And he was a heck of a running quarterback.
Steel falling behind 0-2 here.
Ground ball over to the second baseman. Scoops, sets, and throws for out number 1.
Second baseman number 5, Sam Abrahamson.
Do you suppose it was intentional to have number 1 first in the lineup, or do you think that was a good coinkydink?
I think it's a coincidence. I got to believe Coach Blagan's a math teacher, so he probably likes that sequence of numbers, but it's all about who gets the hits, right?
Yeah.
Foul ball.
I'm going to throw a little baseball history at you. So
Yeah.
a long time ago, baseball players, their number used to represent where they batted in the lineup. Babe Ruth was more number 3, right?
Yep.
He was usually batting third in the lineup.
Yeah.
So a lot of your leadoff hitters still wear number 1. Well, they were usually batting first in the lineup.
Well, that's interesting.
You can Google it and see if that's true or not. I
It's
heard that
probably
somewhere.
true. It's simple times back in those days. You know, they also didn't wear helmets when they hit.
Well,
Siri,
there's
fact check
that too.
0-2, nice curveball that time. Another curveball. Good battle there that time from Abrahamson to fall that off. Makes sense. I mean, I got to tell you, I think I told Ken this story once, but down in southeast Minnesota, my mother-in-law has a cottage or a cabin down there, and we were around for the 4th of July, and we went to an old-time baseball game. And so these guys, they wear heavy wool uniforms, like stuff you'd wear in the wintertime when it's 20 below. And a lot of these guys are old guys. They set it up just like it was back at the turn of the century. You know, they got people dressed up. Ooh, well hit, but that's going to go foul. Oh, off the fence. That was a jack.
That was a good hit.
That was a very good hit. He turned on that thing. He's got good pop. But anyway, these guys are out there, and these games take like 4 hours. The they sit there and they like do things in between the innings, have little shows, and there's people walking around selling popcorn for a nickel. And
2
I
bits.
know we sat, 2 bits,
And of course, the baseball players are like smoking in the dugout.
pretty much. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I used to play down in Rochester
you?
when I lived there. I
Call
played
that.
it was vintage baseball, 1860s baseball.
Yeah.
A very different set of rules.
Did you wear one of those unis?
We had the heavy uniform,
Yeah,
no helmets, no gloves.
yeah,
Very different rules. You could play a ball on a bounce and was still considered an out.
yeah,
But there was a whole
Right,
other set of
right.
rules where if you played it on a bounce, the runners could still advance.
yeah. I'm telling you, what I saw, there wasn't anybody near even your age now. These
Mhm.
guys were old timers.
Oh, it's a wide range. There was like when I played, I was on the younger end, but there
Okay.
was guys in their 50s and 60s playing.
Yeah, yeah. 1 and 2. Fly ball this time sky high out to center field. Looks like he's got a track on it. Makes the catch for out number 2.
Excellent camera work from Mr. Tierstig over there.
The catcher, number 3, Logan Hagman.
So, Seth, this would have been down in Lanesboro. And the
Mhm.
guy that tipped me off on it owned a little cafe that was like a rail club car.
Mhm.
And we were eating breakfast there one time, and he's like, I got to get out of here. I got a ball game at 1 o'clock. And I went, what kind of, I thought it was slow pitch softball or something. Oh, it's whatever, old time baseball or whatever he called it.
Mm-hmm. Vintage baseball.
Vintage, yeah. So we went and watched.
Two words, baseball. It wasn't one word yet.
Yes,
There's
baseball.
emphasis on the 2 words.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played in La Crescent. We'd go down to we played in Mankato in Rochester. We'd have a big vintage baseball fest at the History Center. We'd have like
Okay.
9-10 teams play, just like an all-day tournament kind of thing. So
Cool.
it was a big deal.
Yeah. Fun.
Yeah.
Logan Hagman, the batter, 1-1. Curveball in the dirt.
Aaron, you just name dropped the place where my grandparents lived for many, many years.
Lanes-
Lanesboro, Minnesota.
Really?
Absolutely. If you
Wow.
haven't been down there, absolutely gorgeous.
That's a
Beautiful
nice-
place to
ni-
visit.
Nice on the Root River there. She's got a place on the Root. 2-1. High chopper. Going to be trouble. That's going to get in the
Uh-oh.
hole between shortstop and the third baseman. So Hagman on with a 2-out single.
Shortstop number 8, Jace Metazinski. Yeah, that was a big chopper on the left side there, and then like you said, you found the hole. And even if they would have fielded that, I think he's going to be safe.
Yeah, that's just right in that 5-6 hole, which is a really tough spot. And shortstop wasn't able to get there in time. Hagman's a threat to run. So keep an eye on him. Aggressive base runner.
Is he fast like Hayes?
We talked about that a couple games ago, too. Willie Mays Hayes. Where you going, meet? About 90 feet.
That
1-0.
movie's very quotable, but not on the air.
Ooh, curveball. Jace pulled his head on that one. 1-1. With a secondary lead.
Oh.
Got him on that one there.
Get him.
Got him on the wrist, it
Yeah.
looked like.
First baseman, number 11, Bennett Brathel.
Bennett Brathel had a good couple games over in New Richmond, and able to put the ball in play and had some timely hits. Knocked in a couple runs for the Raiders back in that 7-1 win a couple weeks ago. This lineup really can hit and score top to bottom. That's one of the big threats that Hudson brings to the playoffs for sure.
We've seen top of the order, bottom of the order do some damage throughout the season.
Mm-hmm. That one's tight. That got him too.
Got him.
Wow.
Back-to-back hit batsman loading up the bases.
Oh, it was a foul.
Oh, foul.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Well, must have hit probably that bottom of the bat because bounced off.
Yeah.
Okay.
He pulled his hands in. I thought it hit him, but yeah, hit that bottom of the bat.
And the bummer about that is that's a strike. Hagman testing the pitcher a little bit. Nobody's covering, so may as well just keep an eye on those guys, shortstop and second, if somebody makes a quick cut over. But
They're staring
get your
each other
lead.
down.
That one's outside. Good speed on the base pass. Matazinski, of course, he can fly. So anything that gets to the green in the outfield certainly could score 2. That one's outside. 2-1. So I'm trying to think. North went to state maybe in 18. I think they might have won it. That's outside. 3-1.
A good hitter's count right here. He's been going outside.
Manchester on deck. That one's low. Base is loaded here.
He ends up getting
2 outs.
Gets the walk anyway. Center fielder, number 10, Sam Manchester.
This would be the perfect time for a Babe Ruth moment. Point to the center field, say that's where it's going, hit it right there.
Well, there you go. I don't know. The pitchers hit one guy and almost hit another. I'm not sure if you show them up like that, if you're not going to get a little chin music. Let's see what Sam can do here. Pretty good hitter.
Chin music.
That's outside.
I think just be patient right now. You've seen a lot of pitches away and low.
Exactly. Yep. Make them work for it.
Advantage for Hudson. You got 2 outs. Anything hit, you're going.
That's in there. Jordan Mettler, the pitcher. Hagman coming down quick down the line. 1-2. Watch for little off-speed stuff here. He's been mixing up the curveball pretty well. Oh, that's a fastball. Good stop by the catcher.
Jack Gorman, the catcher for the Huskies, saving a run.
Mm-hmm. Is it me, or are there more banners out in the outfield than earlier this year? Maybe I didn't notice. There's a lot now. Ground ball, foul.
I can't say that I ever really counted before, but now that you mention it.
Trying to see if there's any I recognize. Oh, there's Willow River Carbonis.
Yeah. I like those. And I know it's a little fundraiser for the baseball team, but just a good, makes it look like a ballpark. Curveball down the line. That one's going to be fair and played by the first baseman. For out number 3 for the Raiders. No runs on 1 hit. They leave 3. Your score after 1 inning. Eau Claire North 0, Hudson 0.
Jonesy's Local Bar and Grill, close to the rink for all your pre- and post-game fun. Jonesy's features some great apps, the pretzel, onion rings, and don't forget, great wings, both bone-in and boneless. Boneless available in white and dark meat. And then my favorite, on Saturday and Sunday, it's the prime rib. Wow! Jonesy's also caters and hosts meat raffles to benefit local nonprofits. Thanks for being part of the team.
Well, leading off for the Huskies, designated hitter number 9, Paxton Bush.
Mark Souza back on the mound for the Raiders. Lefty on lefty here. That one's outside. Ball one. So speaking of this pitching staff, Mitchell Anderson, who sang the national anthem, did a really nice job over in New Richmond when we covered that game. That's the first time I'd seen him kind of at any extent of him pitching. So got himself into a couple pickles, but really bared down and took control. Got the batters. Actually had strikeouts a lot with 2 outs and men in scoring position.
Multi-talented man.
Last week, Mitchell against Rice Lake pitched 6 innings with 9 strikeouts, just gave up 1 run.
He's a competitor. I remember him when he was a basketball kid, and Noah's dad, Chris, and those Anderson boys were competitive kids. Saw Miles Howe pitch earlier this year, too. He did a really nice job. Bennett Brathel did a little pitching. Ground ball down to Brathel. Nice scoop. Good job. Stays in front of it. Had not seen him pitch at all. I don't, maybe last year
Shortstop,
a little bit.
number 10, Zach Shipman. I think I've seen 3 pitchers this year for the Raiders in the games I've done. I've seen Howe, Sousa, and Anderson.
Okay, well, and that's you're gonna be your rotation. We'll kind of talk about how that lines up. Ground ball, that's gonna be a slow roller, but Abrahamson with the wheels gets there, makes the play, kind of died a little bit in the grass, but it was in that 3-4 hole, able to scoop it and get the out.
First baseman, number 18, Cameron Buckman. Yeah, Abrahamson made that look easy.
He did, yeah. Good athletes in the middle of that infield for the Raiders, and certainly up the middle, too, with Manchester and center field. Good pitch from Mark. Settling down a little bit this inning.
I think that was right down the center, though.
That was. Who got him on the corner there? 0-2.
I go right same spot on 0-2.
That one's outside. Yeah, you think about, a tall kid like Mark can throw with the velocity that he's got. I'm sure colleges are looking at, there's a curve ball off the glove. They're like, we can work with this. There's a lot to work with there. Good length, good velocity.
You can throw a good curveball. That's definitely a green flag.
2-2. Jammed him up that time. Foul.
Do they measure velocity in high school? Like, do they have any way to see how fast you're throwing it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure there's somebody down there with a radar gun right now. A lot of these kids go to camps, and one got away from a little bit. 3-2. Yeah, when I mentioned prospects, so a lot of these kids on this Hudson roster, they'll go to camps where scouts can time them, and they'll get timed at a whole bunch of different things. That's fouled.
Ahead of that one, too.
So anything from, as a pitcher, you get your fastball, your speed. They'll look at your mix of pitches. As far as hitters go, they'll look at your exit velocity. So in other words, how fast the ball comes off the bat. Curveball. Ooh. Boy, that was a good-looking pitch.
Boy.
Check swing on that, but Eggman asked the field umpire, and no go.
Third baseman, number 14, Mason Bruzewitz. Yeah, got ahead of him 0-2. Couldn't finish him off. That was really close on that check swing.
It was.
The first base umpire, obviously, with only the 2-man crew, really not in a good position to ask for help on that one.
Bruzewitz. So are any Wisconsin Badger basketball fans in the room here? Remember Bruzewitz? Yeah, he was one of my favorite players. Can't remember his first name, but he was kind of a gritty, probably 6'6", forwardish, small forward guy that the Badgers had on some of their good teams, and always had kind of a moppy head of hair. I love that name.
What years are we talking here?
Oh, gosh. Paul, what do you think? How long ago did Bruzewitz play? 10 years ago? Maybe not that long. 6, 7?
Okay.
6 or 7 years, yeah. I don't think he was part of the Final Four team, but he would have been after that. Pitch in there for a strike. 2-2.
Buckman down at first base is getting a decent secondary lead. If Hagman wants to try to sneak one down there, I think he could get him.
Got him swinging.
Ooh, nice
Doesn't have
strikeout.
Didn't matter. For the Huskies, no runs, no hits. They leave one. After 1.5, we're sitting at 0-0. We'll be right back.
When you're buying insurance, finding protection closer to home is always better. After all, who is likely to care more about you? Someone at the end of a 1-800 number or your local professional insurance agent? If you need a quote or just have a question, please just drop in and see us or give us a call. SF Insurance Group is your local community insurance agency. Visit our many locations at St. Croix Falls, Osceola, Somerset, New Richmond, Hudson, Stillwater, Chisago City, and Forest Lake. Visit us online at sfinsurancegroup.com.
Leading off the bottom of the third for the Raiders. Check that, bottom of the second. That'd be the third baseman, number 9, Silas Heisler.
All right, so we got to clear the air. It's Mike Bruzewitz. He was a Minnesota guy, played at Simley. Now I feel better. Jeff and Seth. When you get old and you got half your answer, you got to figure out the whole thing. Ooh, that one turned on that foul.
You have such an extensive sports knowledge with all these trivia questions. I promise you, I was not holding anything against you. My knowledge of basketball is Minnesota's team is the Timberwolves.
Yeah. Well, felt badly yesterday. They really needed that win. It's going to be tough going back to OKC for the old T-Wolves, but, we'll see. 2-1.
We could talk about winning Minnesota teams, the Minnesota Frost in the Women's Hockey League. Winning
Yeah.
Good for them.
Winning
Congratulations.
their championship 2 years in a row.
Yeah. Ground ball over to third base. Ooh, good arm over there. Rifles it over for out number 1. Well, go ahead and we'll tie into that little
Right
trivia.
fielder, number 13, Spencer Bolus.
So Hudson has a girl that plays for the Montreal professional team.
I knew that, and I cannot think of her name.
It's, oh my gosh, Anna Wilgren. Anna Wilgren.
Yep.
Played at Mankato State or Minnesota State. Then she went to Madison for 1 year and then ended up getting drafted by the Quebec team. And I don't know their name, but yeah, Anna Wilgren. Very good athlete.
It's a good thing we have Google on our phones.
I brain farted on her last name for a second. I should know her because she went to high school with my daughter. 2-0. That one's a little low. Who we got up? Spencer Bullis?
Spencer Bolus, the right fielder.
Lucky number.
That one's in there for a strike. A little change up.
The Montreal
Victorier. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's French.
It's French.
It's
Yeah.
French.
Victorier. Fly ball out to center field. Center fielder plants underneath it. Thought that might be a little shorter, but hit it almost right to him.
Left fielder, number 17, Hunter Oswald.
It's kind of a bummer they're not in those little league days where if you hit it out in the field, there's a shot that they might miss it. Generally speaking, these guys know what they're doing. And so you get under a pop-up,
you're
yeah,
out.
pretty much. I mean, at this age, they should be able to catch most routine fly balls. 2 outs here. Hunter Oswald, the batter.
That age was about the extent of my baseball experience.
That was
After
it?
that, I was like, okay, this is not my cup of tea. I was in the outfield because I stunk.
That's in there for a strike. You weren't one of those guys picking dandelions and stuff out there, were you? One of
No
those
comment.
kids?
I'm pleading the fifth.
Yeah. Fly ball. It's going to be out to center field again. Oh, I thought he might trip up, but able to get his footing.
Found one of the divots out in center field.
Yeah. All right, for the Raiders, no runs, no hits, nobody left. After 2, your score, Eau Claire North 0, Hudson 0.
One of my favorites in town. Yep, it's the Willow River and Carbonis located in Burkhart, Wisconsin. A great place to hang out with your friends pre or post game. Fantastic pizza, beauty burgers, and roasted chicken you'll rave about for weeks. Chris and his crew are here for you. Stop on by and say hi. It's that Willow River and Carbonis just north of town.
Leading off for the Huskies, second baseman number 15, Aaron Gust.
Gus, the number 9 batter for the Huskies. Couple base runners for them, but no hits yet. Line drive, there it is, the jinx right up the middle for Gust. Gets the leadoff single.
A solid right back up the middle.
Yeah.
Left fielder number 4, Levante Bean.
See what their approach is here. They want to play a little small ball. Keep an eye on the corners. See if Bean squares the bunt, trying to move over the leadoff hitter Gus. There it is right there. Bunt, that's going to be fair. Silas Heisler on the run. Makes the throw. Good play by him. Good hustle.
Bang, bang at first base there.
Sacrifice works, but a nice play by Heisler saved another base runner.
Right fielder number 11, Caleb Moss. Yep, playing the small ball to put the runner in scoring position.
Mm-hmm. That was a nice bunt.
That was very nice. It's those little things. If you can do those little things like that, it has a lot of value to your team.
For sure. Little tight that time. 1-1.
And you got the heart of the order on deck here, so Sousa just wants to take care of them in order.
Really too worried about that runner not being covered there. That's popped up. Should be playable. Center field charging in for it. Manchester. Oswald calls him off. Gets the out for out number 1. Out number 2, sorry. Forgot about that sacrifice.
Catcher number 2, Jack Gorman.
Little chatter coming down there from the north dugout this inning. 2 down. Swing and a miss.
Sousa facing the Husky lineup the second time now. Gorman walked in his first at bat.
That one's fouled down to the Down to the old softball field down there, it looked like.
Right in the lumberyard.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, wrong movie.
We used to call that field the Hollow when the girls played there. Because you are down in a hole for sure. 0-2. Ground ball to Matazinski. Scoops it up, sets, throws to retire the side. For the Huskies, no runs, 1 hit. They leave one. After 2.5, your score, Eau Claire North 0, Hudson 0.
Wilbur's ready to show the coaches why he should make the team.
I'm going top shelf, where Mama keeps the peanut butter.
Or he'll ring one off the iron and...
We'll thick with logistic.
Valley Companies is proud to sponsor Raiders hockey.
Let's hear that horn, Hudson.
Stops. Oh, I guess we're on now.
Well, we'll turn it off for a second. There we go. Everybody on?
Leading off for the Raiders, the designated hitter, number 1, Steel Homie.
I've gotten picky about when music is playing.
Well, you guys, they got those little bots that track everything now. Homie 0 for 1, grounded out to second his first time at bat.
Yeah. There's one time during a wrestling match we got a full strike on our channel. That was fun to deal with.
So tell us, what does that mean? I mean, what's a full strike compared to a slap on the wrist or something?
Well, normally it'll just say, oh, we detected a thing, no impact on your channel, other than it can't be played in this country, this country, this country. Some of the times it's partially blocked, and other times it's you can't make any money off of this. All the revenue is going to all the producers and all of that. And in that case, it was so severe. That's a foul ball. It was so severe that we had like full-on restrictions on our channel for a time. And if you have 3 strikes, your channel is fully deleted.
Wow.
So we got to be careful about that sort of thing.
Yeah.
The fun times of streaming, everybody.
Yeah.
This all has all to do with copyrighted music, right?
Yep. Infamously. The worst is when you're doing something like the like the ambassador program, and they do a
ground ball that could find the hole, and it does. Homie hits one in the 3-4 hole.
Goes right on over to first base.
Second baseman, number 5, Sam Abrahamson.
Anyway, they do a full choreographed dance to like a pop song or something like that, and you have to cut it out. You have to find something that matches the tempo and matches the tone, and that is so much hunting on like third-party websites.
Wow. Is there any way to pay for the rights of some of that music that you can?
There is, I think. But that's, sometimes it's okay, like $50. Other times it could be up to hundreds or thousands.
Yeah.
It's much easier just to cut it out and put something else in.
Swing and a miss from Abrahamson.
Take a big hack at that one.
Flew out to center field his first at bat, but not before hitting a foul ball off the left field fence. So good power here. Steele with a good lead over there. That one's in the dirt. Good block by the catcher. That's Gorman, did you say, Seth?
Jack Gorman is the catcher.
Pretty active back there. So you were asking about the playoffs. We can kind of brief on that here. I'll let you know where that sits. Do that after this pitch here. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Got a little piece of that one.
So Hudson is a 1 seed, and that plays very well into the baseball playoffs because you get a bye. The playoffs games start next Tuesday. Hudson won't play until Thursday. They get a home game. That is the regional final. So if you win that game, you make it to sectionals. We'll talk about that here in a second. Swinging that one's fouled. So the benefit of that, being the 1 seed, is the playoffs, the sectionals are a 1-day tournament. Those get held on Tuesday, June 10th. And if you're the 1 seed and you're in that spot in the sectional, you play the early game. If you win, you play the late game. So there's another game that comes from the other part of the bracket. So that 1 seed game would be at 10 a.m. The next game is about 1 p.m. And then the final game would be 4 o'clock. So 2 years ago, when Hudson made the sectional final, they played in that second game, and they had to come back and play right away to go to state. That was a tight game, lost to Stevens Point. Last year, they were a 1 seed. They had that extra break. They were able to, win, obviously, and go on to state. So that seems like a small thing, but it's a big thing if you start thinking, what if the weather's 85? That one's fouled off.
I imagine that takes place at a neutral location.
Nope. So
the catcher, number 3, Logan Hagman.
Homie goes down to second. A little miscommunication there, but the base wasn't vacated, so it wasn't a pass ball or drop third strike. Yeah, yes, it's at Stevens Point, Jeff. So, yeah, good point. It is on the road for everybody, obviously, unless Stevens Point makes it.
Oh.
Interestingly, they are in the play-in game to play Hudson. They play Memorial. So Memorial and Point. Fall back.
Playing that early game, though, too, and then getting the late game, you get all that rest in between, too.
Yep, that's exactly right. Yep. So that's, I've talked to athletic director Moen about that. It's a grind of a day. And getting that early game is certainly crucial if you can get there. Curveball in the dirt.
Oh, there goes.
There goes Steele. There it is. Down to third. Good heads-up play by him. Kind of delayed for a second and thought, I can get there.
We had a good lead off a second, a good secondary lead.
Yep.
That's remember when I played secondary leads, the coaches always hammer that into us. Just be ready to go on anything.
Yep.
And on a play like that where the catcher blocks it, he made a good block, but the catcher wasn't sure if he was going to go or not. And fortunately for Steele, he was kind of in no man's land, but he committed and he went and he got it.
Got it. Yep. 1-1. One's fouled up. Catcher chases it, but looks like it's out of play. So here's what's interesting about that Stevens Point game, Memorial game, is we covered a Memorial game earlier this year. They've got a top prospect pitcher themselves, a kid by the name of Cooper Jesperson, who hasn't pitched much this year. And it'll be interesting to see what they do in the playoffs because, you have to win, obviously, to get to the next game, which would be here in Hudson. Do they pitch him? Do they wait? Hope that there are other pitchers. Nice pitch. Nice pitch.
That was a great curveball. Shortstop, number 8, Jace Matazinski.
Kind of froze Hagman on that, didn't it?
Yeah, what do you do on a pitch like that?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's you get fooled for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The answer is panic.
Yeah.
The Raiders still have that runner on third, that's Steele Homey. Trying to push something across here. It's just been back and forth zeros for the first 3 innings.
This is the part where I'd like to see Steele Homey.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something?
How long have you been waiting to say that?
A couple minutes.
Ground ball up the middle.
There it is.
That was outside the zone, but those long arms of Matazinski able to poke that out to center field, knocking the first run of the game for the Raiders.
First baseman, number 11, Bennett Brathel. Yeah, the Mettler, the pitcher for the Huskies, was about 3 inches from making that catch.
Yeah.
I think that tipped right off the end of his glove.
All right. So certainly Jace is a threat to run here, so keep an eye on first base.
I also think the pitcher's got an axe to grind with him since he got the first score.
It could be. Pretty good lead over there. Jace not afraid to show it. He knows he can get back. Good hops.
Brathel walked in his first at bat in the first inning when the Raiders loaded up the bases.
Does he think the first baseman is the catcher?
No, he doesn't. He knows that Matazinski's going to probably run on him, even if he does send one to the plate. Oh, not that time. That one's in the dirt. There goes Jace. There's that heads-up play again, noticing the ball getting away from the catcher.
Yeah, it gets to be a little bit of a cat and mouse game between the pitcher and a runner sometimes, too.
Head games.
Mm-hmm. That's why speed is such a valuable and I think sometimes underrated. You get a fast guy out on first base and they start dancing around. You, as a pitcher, you forget about the batter. You lay one over the heart of the plate, and next thing you know, you got a 2-run home run.
Mm-hmm.
I just got the notification on my phone, gentlemen. Light rain expected to start at your location in about 15 minutes.
Ooh. Okay, well.
You're on the clock.
Hey, it's the weatherman who made the prediction, not me. I'm just relaying information.
There's that cat and mouse game again. Matazinski's not afraid to steal third either.
That's pretty good at psychological warfare, I guess.
It is. 1-1. Curveball high. Yeah, we know Ken does not like his gear to get wet.
Yeah.
So we'll keep an eye on the weather here.
Yeah. Thankfully, there's not much that can be damaged other than that SDI cable, which is protected.
So you mentioned it, Seth. It does present some head games here, and all of a sudden 3-1. Keep peeking back there, and really at this point, whether he's on second or third, he's in scoring position. So you're better off just going after the batter. Ground ball. That's a gap right between the 5-6 hole. Here comes Matazinski around. He'll score.
What a hit.
Little rally here for the Raiders with 2 outs.
Yeah, great piece of hitting right there. Center fielder, number 10, Sam Manchester. On the hole on the left side, and Matazinski scored easily.
Brathel's had a lot of timely hits this year, for sure, so good job from him. Manchester grounded out to first, his first at bat. That one's low.
Don't expect much from Brathel. He's been dealing with that hamstring most of the season.
Yeah, I know. And one of the games we covered, I'm like, get moving, Bennett. But then all of a sudden, I heard that he had a bad hamstring. So I'm like, oh, that wasn't very nice. That one's tight. 2-0.
Yeah, he's only a couple steps off first base.
Ground ball, that could get to the gap. Slowed down by that grass. Second baseman makes the play to retire the side, but the Raiders pick up a couple runs on 2 hits. They leave 1. Your score now after 3 innings, Hudson 2, Eau Claire North 0.
At Willow River Company, we're your year-round experts for comprehensive tree care services. Whether it's storm damage, structural pruning, or deep root fertilization, we're here to keep your trees healthy no matter the season. Our specialized fungus control and tree injections ensure your trees stay robust and disease-free. Worried about Dutch elm disease or emerald ash borer? Willow River can help with that too, providing expertise and solutions with our team of certified arborists. Contact us at willowrivercompany.com.
Leading off the top of the fourth, the center fielder, number 12, Aiden Pankratz.
Mark Souza humming right along here. A couple of strikeouts, just one hit given up so far. Curveball in there for a strike. Mark's dad, John, and I were involved in the Hudson Booster softball for many years. So
How
good
about
family, and our wives worked together at Hudson School District. Curveball a little outside.
that? I'm sure they had plenty of stories about each of you.
Oh, John and I had a few stories, but I think our wives are pretty innocent. 1-1. Ooh, looked good, but a little low.
So between your kids going to Hudson and now doing the announce, I mean, how long have you been involved with Hudson sports?
Oh boy. Well, I'll tell you the first thing I did, 2 and 2. My daughter would have been about 5, so this is about 2005, and she wanted to play soccer. So of course we signed up for Hudson Soccer and was out at the Field of Dreams there, swing and a miss, another strikeout for Souza. And I remember this distinctly. This is my
Designated hitter, number 9, Paxton Bush.
I wasn't a soccer guy. I played baseball and football, basketball. But I was standing in line as they were talking to the parents, and the guy who was talking about, what the kids can expect, parents can expect, swing and a miss that time. He said, well, the good news is, we were excited to have your daughters play soccer. The bad news is we don't have a coach. So we're really looking for somebody to step up and be a coach and take this team. And literally, I was in line with about 8 people, and they all took a step back. And I was standing there, and he looked at me and said, thank you for coaching. And so then it was trying to learn how to do soccer, which, again, at that point, you're just kind of herding cats. Get there, Jace. Oh, nice try. I'm going to hit a replay on that. That's a beauty of just an attempt to try to make that play.
Shortstop, number 10, Zach Shipman.
Just outside the glove that time. So my kids eventually, I guess we'll say, got smart and decided to play baseball and softball. Then I was kind of in my own little realm, but that would have been the start of it. So what's that, 20 years?
20 years.
20 years.
And counting.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. I had to have the replay overlay on.
Yeah, there we go.
Otherwise, you're just confused.
Ooh. Took one in the mush. Melon that time. Kind of an off-speed pitch. I don't think it hurt too much, but you could hear it from up here.
That still rings your bell a little bit.
Yeah, it does. So the Huskies
First
in business
baseman,
here.
number 18, Cameron Buckman.
Buckman, the number 7 hitter.
Checking that helmet down there, make sure it's okay. The helmet's not broken.
It didn't seem like it was Mark's hardest pitch for sure.
I think breaking ball didn't break. Yeah.
It also looked like it didn't hit him directly.
Yeah, he turned his head. I think it hit the back of the helmet, maybe. All right, well, let's see if Souza can get out of this one. 2 on, 1 out. That one's tight.
Buckman walked in his first at bat in the second.
Ooh, got him that time, too. Just not able to get that pitch to turn.
Now we're in a bit of a dangerous spot.
Third baseman, number 14, Mason Bruzewitz.
Coach Cagnetta coming out to have a quick conversation on the mound.
All right. While they're doing this, let's take a little break and let's fulfill a contractual obligation.
Precision engineering, rigorous attention to detail. A Bryant Evolution heating system is so well designed, it's as much of a joy to install as it is to use.
Good to go.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
All right, let's see what Mark Souza can do here. I think it's just a matter of getting a little control, put it across the plate. Good defense behind you. That one's low.
Looking at the infield for the Raiders, you got Silas Heisler in at third. You got Brathel in at first. Looking for the double play up the middle.
Yep, you're right. Probably the corner's coming to the plate. Ground ball. Oh, that's going to get through. The slow roller is going to score 2. Runner from first stretches it to third. And we're tied up here, 2-2.
Now this is a game, gentlemen.
Second baseman, number 15, Aaron Gust.
Bruzowitz with
the disadvantage of playing in like that on a ground ball like that. Brathel didn't have much time to react. He made an attempt backhanded, but just snuck underneath the glove.
Yeah, and the grass slowed it down certainly out there to right field. Bullis couldn't really charge it and make much of a play. That one's outside. 2-0. So no activity going in the Hudson bullpen yet.
With the seedings already out, how much does this game still matter? I mean, you're still playing to be conference champs, right?
That's really what it is. You know, you want to be able to hang that banner, which Hudson's been able to do the last couple times the last few years. But really, the seeding piece is over. I mean, Hudson is recognized in the state as one of the best teams in Division I. They played a really hard non-conference schedule. That one's popped up. Abrahamson hustles over, makes the catch. Beauty catch there.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate. Out of play, so runner's going to advance as well. Excellent catch that time, but again, the runner was just kind of baiting whether he was going to go or not. And since the ball went out of play and the runner was moving towards second, they're going to give him an extra base down to third.
Left fielder number 4, Levante Bean. Again, another cat and mouse game. Abrahamson was watching the runner. Runner was toying with going, and
it's what I call risk reward. And you got to really make the. I mean, he caught it off balance. I didn't see him set to throw. That might have been off balance as well.
You have to make such a big decision in such a quick amount of time. I don't blame him.
Baseball's a game of inches and seconds.
Ground ball. Matazinski throw on the run.
Ooh,
Beauty play right there.
Bullet to first base.
Yeah.
Excellent shot.
Retires the side. But the old I'm sorry, we're not the old Abes today. We're the Huskies. The Huskies pick up 3 runs on a couple of hits. They leave one. Your score now after 3.5 innings. Eau Claire North 3, Hudson 2.
When you're working with Derek Building Solutions, you'll get a full-service general contractor that handles every aspect of the project, from design all the way to the final clean.
You know, I was pretty nervous getting into this. It was a big undertaking. There's a lot that goes into it, but having a good contractor, you know, helps you work through the process. We've never built anything like this before, and knew that we would need probably a little extra help on the front end of getting things going, and so definitely glad that we picked Derek.
Leading off for the Raiders, the third baseman, number 9, Silas Heisler.
Second time leading off the count.
Well, Hudson with 2 in the bottom of the third. Let's see if they can tack on a couple more. There's a hit right there. Drops in front of left field.
Nice shot.
1 pitch, 1 runner on.
Right fielder number 13, Spencer Bullis.
Gee, did you see he hit it in a way that would have gone right over his head if he was out there?
Yeah. Think that's what he was aiming for?
That would be interesting.
All right, so Heisler on. Lead off the bottom of the fourth here. Bullis squares to bunt. Pops that one up. Out of play.
Heiser was running as Bullis was squaring up. Let's see what the Raiders have in mind on this next pitch.
The killer on that is if you do pop it up and they catch it, that's a double play all day. So we've got to get that bunt down in the dirt. 0-1.
Bruzewicz is in on the grass at third base. Oh, that's a good one.
Be a fair ball. Bruzewicz over to first. Bullis does his job, gets the sacrifice bunt down, moves Heisler over to second.
Left fielder, number 17, Hunter Oswald.
Bunting is one of those things that, you know, even mentioning coaching, so I can tell you whether it was boys or girls, nobody really liked to do it. And so I'd rather get up there and swing it.
Yeah.
But when you could get, especially somebody with some decent speed, there's a nice, line shot. I was almost like, look what I found, because it looked like he was moving a different direction to start.
The designated hitter, number 1, Steel Homie. He caught it right at the shoe tops. He had a chance to double up Heisler at second, but
nobody covering.
Nobody there.
Steele singled and scored. Runner goes. It's going to be off the runner, I think. Might have hit Silas. Good speed getting down there.
Yeah, it was a close play, but I was looking down when the ball went down there. But
looked a little bit up the line. All right.
Well, Hudson scored their last 2 runs with 2 outs.
Let's see what we can do here. 1 strike on Homie. That one's popped up. Center fielder tracking it. Left field. Ooh, no. He says, I want that ball. All right. Well, the Raiders, no runs, 1 hit. They leave 1. Your score now after 4 innings, it's still Eau Claire North 3, Hudson 2.
Jonesy's Local Bar and Grill, close to the rink for all your pre- and post-game fun. Jonesy's features some great apps, the pretzel, onion rings, and don't forget, great wings, both bone-in and boneless. Boneless available in white and dark meat. And then my favorite, on Saturday and Sunday, it's the prime rib. Wow! Jonesy's also caters and hosts meat raffles to benefit local nonprofits. Thanks for being part of the team.
Leading off for the Huskies, the right fielder, number 11, Caleb Moss.
So it looks like North with their 2-3-4 hitters coming up here.
Mark Sousa sitting at 62 pitches through the first 4 innings.
Good shape if he can just kind of keep it under control. A little blooper there. Matasinski takes a dive for it. That was going to be a base hit no matter what. Just kind of fell in the dead zone there.
We'll do a little replay on that one.
Catcher number 2, Jack Gorman.
It's quite a dive.
A for effort.
There's always that one player on the team that's just always diving.
Oh yeah, yep. Got to get the uni dirty, especially when it's white. Swing and a miss. So it's no small ball. I was gonna say no snowball. No small ball here for North, with the number 3 hitter up. That one's off the end of the bat. Oh.
Gorman 0 for 1, a walk, ground out.
That one's hit over to Abrahamson, goes off the
Off
boot.
the heel.
Runner will advance down to third. That's Moss. A lot of noise coming from that Huskies dugout now.
Center fielder number 12, Aiden Pankratz.
Wow, a couple of them even sound like Huskies.
There, runners on the corners, nobody out.
Now we'll see how aggressive they want to get on the base pass here. That one's fouled off. Looked like a ball that Abrahamson could handle there, but just didn't get down on it enough, and then caromed off his foot out into center field pretty much. I'm not even sure who picked that one up. That one's fouled off.
That was Bullis over there. He was going to back up the play, had to reverse direction. Unfortunate break for the Raiders.
Gorman doesn't look like a threat to run. Oh, there he goes, just like that. Little hit and run action on, that's foul.
Usually your catcher is not going to be your fastest guy on the team.
Not usually. Got one of those hand pads on that everybody wears now. That slows down your aerodynamics when you're running, I think.
I think it just looks goofy. It looks like you're wearing an oven mitt.
It does. That one's fouled, so Pankratz here hanging around. Still 0-2.
Yeah, Sousa's been around the plate on this guy. And like you said, he's hanging around. He's right there.
Mm-hmm. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. Strike number 3 for out number 1.
That's a good breaking ball. That's what Sousa needed right here in this situation. Number 9, designated hitter, Paxton Bush.
The word of the day is precarious for the Raiders.
Swing and a miss. Infield in on the grass here, trying to protect maybe that run on anything in front of them. Hit him.
He didn't really look like he moved out of the way on that one.
No, he didn't. He was going to wear it.
Latest fashion trend.
Yeah.
Shortstop number 10, Zach Shipman.
All right, no place to put him here. Let's see if the Raiders can maybe turn a double play or at least save a run here.
Shipman scored in the 4th inning. He was hit by a pitch last inning. Also a ground out to second.
That one's popped up. Center fielder comes in for it. Should be able to make that throw. They're going to cut it.
Ooh.
Yeah. Good
That
cut.
was short enough that there would have been a play at the plate for sure.
I think the umpire called infield fly on that one. Someone said
Did
it.
he?
Yeah.
Okay.
First
That's
baseman
interesting.
Cameron Buckman. Yeah, it was a little deep
Kind of in
for
that,
infield
yeah,
fly.
a little deep, but we'll take it.
Now, the runner could still go on that, though,
Yeah.
too.
That's in there
Ooh,
for a
good
strike.
pitch.
A lot of lefties in this North lineup. That's 3 in a row I've seen. Number 2 batter's a lefty. All back.
Throwing it back to my baseball days.
Yeah.
Whenever I would step up to the plate and I would swing left-handed, outfielders would back up a little bit because they knew I had more power. And then a few innings later, they would start to move in a little closer when they figured out how I actually hit.
There you
Oh,
go.
nice.
Gets out of
Beautiful.
it.
Huge.
Beauty of a bender that time. Mark Souza gets out of it. For the North Huskies, no runs on 1 hit. They leave 3. They leave the bases loaded. No damage done. Your score after 4.5. Hudson coming up to bat, trailing 3-2.
When you're buying insurance, finding protection closer to home is always better. After all, who is likely to care more about you? Someone at the end of a 1-800 number or your local professional insurance agent? If you need a quote or just have a question, please just drop in and see us or give us a call. SF Insurance Group is your local community insurance agency. Visit our many locations at St. Croix Falls, Osceola, Somerset, New Richmond, Hudson, Stillwater, Chisago City, and Forest Lake. Visit us online at sfinsurancegroup.com.
Leading off the bottom of the 5th, the second baseman, number 5, Sam Abrahamson.
All right, see if the Hudson Raiders can put some runs on the board here. Bennett Brathel warming up down in the bullpen. He's got to be keeping an eye on the activity here. He's the number 5 batter, so we got 2, 3, 4 coming up for Hudson here in the bottom of 5th. Ground ball down to the third baseman. A little bit of trouble. Good speed coming at him. He's going to be safe. One hop that throw. Just couldn't handle it down there.
The catcher, number 3, Logan Hagman. Aaron, how are you going to score that one? A hit or an error?
An error that time.
E5?
E5, yep. That was, didn't really have to move either way. It bounced off his glove, and then the throw was a little weak too. It was on line, but really it was the handling that was the error. Ooh, boy, Sam was moving his momentum towards second base, not really paying attention.
That pitcher did not come to play games. Well, I guess he is playing a game, but that's not the point.
That one's a little low. So good speed over at first for Hudson. See if they want to get active on the base paths here.
So on the topic of scoring, when you go to a ball game, other than like here, do you like to keep score? Like if you go to a Twins game or anything?
There he goes. No, I don't. He's going to be safe in there before the throw. No, I scored. I was the official softball scorer for a couple years, high school softball.
Mm-hmm.
And now everybody uses Game Changer.
Yeah.
So I like doing it this way. That way I can kind of remember things, and I don't know, writing it down just seems like it's easier. But I'm too busy gabbing or doing other things at
it's
pro games.
A little bit of a lost art, though, too. I mean, for me, I like to keep score. We go to a ball game, I'll buy a score. They get harder and harder to find a scorecard at a ball game. Let me tell you that, too.
Yeah.
But I have all my scorecards from all the games I've been to since like high school in a binder at home. So
wow, good for you.
Which is fun to look back on, but at the same time, it's so easy to go to like Baseball Reference online and just find all those scores.
That was a good pitch. That was nasty.
Advantage number 1 of scoring with pen and paper, no software outages.
Correct.
Yeah.
Shortstop, number 8, Chase Matazinski.
Mettler has been nasty with that curveball when he's wanted to be. That time, again, that's the second time he got Hagman looking on a curveball third strike.
Yeah, 3 strikeouts for Mettler, 2 of them against Hagman.
Ground ball to the shortstop. That throws in the dirt, and again, there's Jace Matazinski legging that thing out. That's a single. That's all him.
Infield single.
Just the shortstop just kind of froze for a second, and runner wasn't really making.
First baseman, number 11, Bennett Brathel.
Wasn't really making any type of an attempt to even kind of threaten to run. But
and Abrahamson on second base was right there. I'm sure he had an eye on him, too. And just that slight hesitation is probably what allowed Matazinski to reach first.
Right. Well, and Jace is so fast. My gosh.
Any of these guys run track too? Because they'd be good at it, especially the 100-meter sprint.
Yeah, he'd be a pretty good track athlete for sure. I want him to play football and keep bugging his dad. We'll see what happens. Nice shot that time. Brathel staying hot.
He's going to wave him in.
Abrahamson, there's going to be no throw. Thought it might be a little closer than that, but that cut was a little short.
3-3. We are all tied up.
Bennett Brathel delivers again.
Yeah, second RBI of the game, second hit of the game for Bennett. He's 2 for 2.
All right. Take a little breather while they're stepping up to the plate here.
One of my favorites in town. Yep, it's the Willow River and Carbonis located in Burkhart, Wisconsin. A great place to hang out with your friends pre or post game. Fantastic pizza, beauty burgers, and roasted chicken you'll rave about for weeks. Chris and his crew are here for you. Stop on by and say hi. It's that Willow River and Carbonis just north of town.
I just missed it. Sam Manchester is up.
That's
all
all
right.
right.
Slow on the draw.
That's okay. All right, let's see what Sam can do here. 0 for 2, couple ground outs. Good speed at second. Pretty good speed at first, too.
Yeah, Parker Reckon is pinch running for Bennett Brathel. Brathel's going to go back to the bullpen and warm up.
It's in there for a strike. Oh, nobody's
nobody
there. I'm not sure.
Oh, no.
Just like a baby deer coming off the base.
Who had a pickoff attempt at second with nobody at second.
There.
Matazinski was as surprised as everybody else and couldn't get his gears going.
Yeah. And even center field was deep. It's like, not sure what he was throwing to.
Possibly a little miscommunication. Maybe they had a play on, but maybe only the pitcher was in on it.
Good hold that time. 1-1. I think they're going to send him on this one. Oh, that one's fouled off. Third baseman chasing it. Looks like it could be in play. Oh, he falls over and makes that catch.
Rolled into it.
Yeah. Nice play by him, tracking that down.
Now up the third baseman, number 9, Silas Heisler. Was that third baseman that caught it?
Third baseman caught that one, yeah. All right, Silas Heisler up. Singled his last at bat. See if he can deliver again.
Multi-talented kid, by the way. I know this guy from all the choir concerts and musicals that I filmed. He is fantastic.
Very good singer. Yes, you're right.
Well, Hudson has 2 good singers. We got Mitchell Anderson, and then Silas is a regular with the national anthem, hockey games as well.
Oh, you should see the choir concerts. It's way more than 2.
Yeah. That one's popped up. Third baseman again calls for it. Makes the catch. A couple plays from him on this final 2 outs of the inning, but the Raiders pick up a run on a couple of hits. They leave 2. Your score now after 5. Eau Claire North 3, Hudson 3.
Wilbur's ready to show the coaches why he should make the team.
I'm going top shelf, where Mama keeps the peanut butter.
Or he'll ring one off the iron and...
Will thick with logistic.
Valley Companies is proud to sponsor Raiders hockey.
Let's hear that horn, Hudson.
Now pitching for the Raiders, number 11, Bennett Brathel.
Definitely weren't talking about Ken behind his back while he's
Leading
not
off
here to
for the
defend
Huskies, third baseman, number 14, Mason Bruzewitz.
Yeah, he's not innocent in that, Jeff. Just so you know. Ken, we're talking about your singing.
No. I like humming and singing good music. What? I'm not going to apologize for it. I just won't do it on the air.
Bennett Brathel on the mound. Couple high strikes here to start the top of the 6th.
Sousa, 5 innings, 5 strikeouts, a couple walks. Not a bad outing.
That one's in there for a strike.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. High school, it's 7 innings, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. There you go. Nothing but heat right now, pounding that zone.
Yeah, he's
2-2.
Battling back after being down 2-0.
A little high with that one. Bennett Brathel doesn't take a lot of time. He says, I'm just here to pitch, so let's go.
Ooh.
Foul back.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
It almost knocked my cable down there.
Uh-oh.
Hey, maybe don't do that again.
Is that your camera behind the plate too, Jeff?
I don't think it is. I didn't set that up at least.
Ken's got one of those that he puts in at softball. Ground ball.
Ooh,
oh,
fair
it's
ball.
fair. Wow. That thing actually must have crossed the path fair,
Yeah,
but it was definitely to the right of the chalk line.
Second baseman, number 15, Aaron Gust. Yeah, umpire had the right call on that one as he was getting out of the way.
Yeah.
Fortunately, just a single.
Yeah. Souza over at first base now.
Pinch runner for the Huskies, number 7, Landon Connect. Gust, 1 for 2, a single and a pop out.
Squares the bunt. Right up the first
That's a
base
good
line.
one.
Souza's going to take it himself.
Yeah, he almost forgot to get
He's like,
first base.
Yeah.
Well, they got the sacrifice they needed. They got a runner on 2.
Yep.
Left fielder, number 4, Levante Bean.
Yeah, you know what? They're playing smart here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now they got the top of the order up, too.
Ooh, nice bender that time. Swing and a miss.
Bean 0 for 2, had a sacrifice in the third, also struck out in the first.
Ball misses.
Keep hearing that ball snap into the catcher's glove, and I got to be thinking he takes his glove off at the end of the night. It's got to be just red as a tomato.
Probably a little, yeah, they have a pad they can wear back there that helps that pad part of your hand a little bit. That one's low.
Just missed on that one.
2-1. That one's popped up. Could be playable. Heisler goes over to the fence. He's going to try to make
And
the
he
play.
got
and
it.
He does. Nice job. Found his spot on the fence and was able to track that ball down.
Right fielder, number 11, Caleb Moss.
So the moral of the story of this game is if you hit a foul ball over by the third baseman, start praying.
Yeah, that's right. That one's fouled off. That could hit a car. Ding.
You guys have a sponsor for like a body shop or anybody that
You
can take
know,
out door dings?
I don't know if he does have a sponsor for that. That's a good
I
question.
mean, that's what it writes itself.
Yeah. Over on the other field, just to the north of us, that's where the JV plays. And then back when, like I was coaching, it would have been probably 14U.
Do you guys hear the car alarm going off? There's actually a car alarm going off.
Yeah. Well, must have got it.
Didn't mean to cut you off. I apologize.
Yeah. But they're the backstop, isn't as big, and you'd see balls hit down Carmichael Road, and there were a couple that I remember would hit, and then it's like, you're sitting there and you're just like a kid, like, oh, it's gonna hit a car, doink. Sure enough, it would hit it.
Well, that's half the fun of playing over here, right?
Kind of is.
Ooh, high
Got him
strike.
on that one.
Back when I used to do trap shooting in high school, the big state meet was in Alexandria. And on the range, way off in the distance, you could see the highway. And you're like,
ooh.
Yeah, there's no way this can end poorly. Another hit.
Catcher number 2, Jack Gorman.
You were slinging lead over the highway? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, it was so far away. There was absolutely no way anything was going to go over there.
Yeah.
But it was still like, you first get there and you see where everything is pointed, and you're like, who came up with this idea?
Great.
If I'm driving on that highway, I'm freaking out.
You were a trap guy, huh?
I was.
That's cool.
I even made state when I was in my senior year in high school.
Nice.
Granted, it was because a couple of the guys who would have been there were ineligible.
Don't sell yourself short.
I did pretty well. Got 20 out of 25 in my first round.
Good for you.
Shot 125 once.
Yeah. I will tell you, I shot trap for many years.
Yeah.
And it is called off. It's a lot like, to me, it's a lot like golf in the mental piece of it. So, like, I was probably our best shooter, one of our top 2 shooters on one of the team that I was on, and I'd be 22s to 25s every time.
Nice.
And then, well, there you go, strikeout for Brathel.
Nice.
But, Jeff, then what would happen is I'd shoot a 15 or a 16, and it took me weeks to get myself back to 20s and 22s.
Yeah, it is a
Switch
mental
guns,
thing.
I was a mental midget. For the Huskies, no runs, 1 hit. They leave 2 after 5.5. Your score's tied. Hudson 3, Eau Claire North 3.
Are you dreaming of a perfect lawn? Willow River Company Lawn Care Services can make it a reality. Our expert team for all aspects of your lawn, from mowing to eliminating those pesky weeds, ensuring a weed-free green paradise. Your lawn deserves the best. That's why we provide tailored fertilization for lush, vibrant grass. At Willow River, we understand that one size doesn't fit all. That's why we offer personalized lawn packages to meet your unique needs. Contact us at willowrivercompany.com.
Now pitching for the Huskies, number 11, Caleb Moss. Leading off for the Raiders, the right fielder, number 13, Spencer Bullis.
All right, let's see if Hudson can put some runs on the board here, get to that 7th inning, secure that big W that will at least ensure them a share of the conference title.
Eau Claire North got a little bit of a position change here. A couple people shifted.
Yeah, Caleb Moss is the new pitcher. Moving in from right field. The new right fielder now, that's going to be number 6, McCabe Teesing Ritter.
That was outside. 1-1. So Hudson 8, 9, and top here in the 6th. That one's outside. 2-1.
Bolus with a nice sacrifice his last at bat. Also flew out to right.
Fly ball out to
Goes
shallow
away.
center field. A little bit of trouble. Center fielder comes in for it.
Nope, dropped
Nope,
it.
Gets past him. He was hustling. That was a really kind of in a dead zone there.
That seemed like that one just kind of died on him.
Yeah.
Left fielder number 17, Hunter Oswald.
I mean, I don't even know in that spot where it landed. Maybe short?
Yeah, it was shallow, right behind shortstop, kind of between center and left.
Yeah, it would have been a tough play regardless.
Yep.
You gotta imagine, like, how hard is that to see with like a cloudy day like this, white up against white?
It's
How
not-
hard is it to find?
It's not easy.
Gotta think, would you rather have the sun in your eyes at that point?
I don't know about that. And that can do some wild things to you, too. Squares the bunt. That one's outside, did not offer.
Yeah, pinch runner at first.
Bergen Awney, it looks like.
So he's running for Bolus. We'll see if Oswald's going to square around again.
Popped up. Fortunately, Awney didn't have a big lead there, so.
Designated hitter number 1, Steel Homie. Now, you were talking earlier, if you pop one up on a bunt, you can be dead to rights, but
You can be, yeah. Especially, I mean, those are a lot of times almost like a hit and run because they're sending that runner. That one's kind of jam job on him. Third baseman able to make the catch. So after the leadoff single from Bolus, Hudson now
second
2
baseman
down.
number 5, Sam Abrahamson. Yeah, Homie wants that at bat back. You can tell that was not his
Jammed him
best
up
swing.
a little bit.
Yep.
Yep.
Front of the home plate there, that's Hudson's danger zone right now.
Good pitch right there.
Abrahamson scored the tying run in the bottom of the 5th after reaching on an error.
Inside that time, swing and a miss.
Help me out, fellas. What's that thing in his back pocket there?
That's a hand pad for him or some sort of pad so when he's on base, they protect their hands so when they slide, they don't catch a cleat or something and mess up their fingers and hands. That one's fall back.
Yeah, it's real easy when you're diving head first to jam a finger into a base, too.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting there thinking, does he have a treasure map?
Sure. It's a map to get around the bases. Time called.
Hagman waiting on deck, hoping to get an at-bat this inning.
Curveball. There's a line drive base hit.
Ooh.
All right, so Hudson alive here. Bottom of the 6th, 2 on, 2 out.
I think that's worth a replay.
The catcher, number 3, Logan Hagman.
Oh, no, no. Aaron Sundin with the save, everybody.
Yeah, we don't need any strikes here. That one's popped up. Playable right field. First pitch. Makes the catch to retire the side. The Raiders can't capitalize on that leadoff single. No runs, 2 hits. They leave 2. Your score after 6, still tied 3-3.
When you're working with Derek Building Solutions, you'll get a full-service general contractor that handles every aspect of the project, from design all the way to the final clean.
You know, I was pretty nervous getting into this. It was a big undertaking. There's a lot that goes into it, but having a good contractor, you know, helps you work through the process. We've never built anything like this before, and knew that we would need probably a little extra help on the front end of getting things going. And so definitely glad that we picked Derek.
Leading off the top of the 7th for the Huskies, the center fielder, number 12, Aiden Pankratz.
All right, this is the inning it all comes down to.
This is it. Shut them down here and score a run, get out of here. First pitch, off the handles. Jace, just
nice
a
catch.
Easy little drop step, makes the catch for out number 1.
Designated hitter, number 9, Paxton Bush.
Nice leap to catch that there.
Jace has got to be about 6'3", I'm thinking. So
Got
a good wingspan to cover that spot.
We've seen many times this season use that height to his advantage.
Mm-hmm. 1-0. Let's fall back. One thing I like about Bennett Brathel, when there aren't runners on, he's efficient. Let's just get up there and throw. Attack those hitters. 1-1. Nice pitch.
Nice.
Man, if you can attack the inside corner, you are going to have success. Those are really hard pitches to turn on. Outside corner that time. 1-2. I think I got it up here. We'll talk about this real quick, too, as we're kind of winding things down. But as far as playoffs go, so I mentioned the Memorial and Stevens Point game, but then on the bottom of the bracket, you've got Menominee, who was a 5 seed against Wausau West at 12, then Marshfield and Chippewa Falls. So Marshfield was a 13 seed, and Chippewa was a 4 seed. So in the event you advance,
Shortstop, number 10, Zach Shipman.
it would be one of those teams that would come out of that on the bottom of that part of the bracket.
They wouldn't meet those teams until the sectional.
Sectionals, correct, yep. Chance for a double play here. Nadazinski gets the relay.
Oh,
there it is, right there.
Look at that! Yeah, I was going to say, that is worth the replay, gentlemen. Oh,
4-6-3
so
double
clean.
play. Nice job on that defensive side for the Raiders.
And away,
For the Huskies in the top of the 7th, no runs, no hits, they leave none. Here's your ball game here, folks. Unless we go to extra innings, we're tied 3-3 going to the bottom of the 7th. We'll be right back.
Jonesy's Local Bar and Grill, close to the rink for all your pre- and post-game fun. Jonesy's features some great apps, the pretzel, onion rings, and don't forget, great wings, both bone-in and boneless. Boneless available in white and dark meat. And then my favorite, on Saturday and Sunday, it's the prime rib. Wow! Jonesy's also caters and hosts meat raffles to benefit local nonprofits. Thanks for being part of the team.
Leading off the bottom of the 7th for the Raiders, the shortstop, number 8, Jace Matazinski.
Matazinski, part of that 4-6-3 double play. Let's see if he can carry a little momentum here to the plate. Bottom of the 7th, still 3-3 here. Raiders need 1 to walk this thing off. First pitch to Jace. Curveball in the dirt. So getting back to those brackets, just real quick, I look at that and I think to myself, really the tougher part of the bracket is the bottom part. Swing and a miss that time.
Off speed.
Because there you've got DC Everest is a 2 seed, but you got New Richmond down there, you've got River Falls down there, you've got North down there. You know, those teams are going to have to kind of beat up on each other because only DC Everest gets the bye. I do know New Richmond beat DC Everest earlier this year against their number 1 pitcher as well.
Those are all good teams you're naming off, too.
Right, yeah. So to get to the sectional on that side of the bracket, I think you're really going to have to earn it. 3-1. Outside, there it is. So Did I say leadoff walk for Jace?
You said he would get on.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking it's senior night. Wouldn't it only be fitting for a senior to walk it off for the
Yeah,
Raiders?
it would. And we are going to mention those young men, too, before we wrap up here.
Now batting the pitcher, number 11, Bennett Brathel. Bennett Brathel being one of the seniors.
He is, yep. Having a good game tonight, too. 2 for 2. Couple RBIs. Oh, get up, Jace. Get up. Oh.
Yeah, you can't get up that quick.
I thought that might roll a little further, but.
Yeah. There's a lot of foul territory on the first base side.
Mm-hmm.
Third base side, too, but it just any ball that gets past the first baseman, that's a long way to run.
They certainly know he's a threat to run, and you look at his lead, just his normal lead right here, that's another step and a half than most of the runners that are out there. Line drive up the middle.
Oh! That is right past him.
He has a hot bat today, folks.
3 hits in a row. Center fielder, number 10, Sam Manchester.
Shortstop just couldn't get there in time.
Now we got another senior. Mitchell Anderson's going to pinch run for Brathel.
Interesting spot here. This could be a sacrifice situation, too. No, we're going to let him hit. First pitch in there for a strike.
Yeah.
I mean, then you start talking, you need 1 run. You got good speed at third. A contact play probably scores a run if he's just 1 base away. That one's outside.
Matazinski's got the speed to score on a single from second, too, depending on
For
where
sure.
it's hit.
Yeah. Well, and especially if it gets, this grass is certainly slowing things down, too. There you go. That'll move the runners if they can keep the oh, they got him. Oh, man, I thought it was hard enough hit that I thought they'd have a chance, but then that throw to the shortstop was a little high. All right. Well, just like that.
Now batting third baseman, number 9, Silas Heisler.
So the question is, what does he do here? Because it's 2 outs, guy on third, and anything he does is very high risk.
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about Silas right now.
He doesn't have any risk. He just needs to get a hit because
So-
they have 2 outs. So he just needs to find some green grass in that outfield. Foul back that time.
Just off of that one. Heisler, did have a hit in the 4th. Ground out and a pop out.
He does that same thing again. That's game.
Curveball, nasty.
Good breaking ball right there. Matazinski getting a good lead at third.
Opt out of play. That was kind of looked like it jammed him, but just kind of got ahead of it a little bit.
He's just trying to stay alive. But all he's got to do is just make a little contact.
Yeah.
You know, fart on outside the base that Jace gets
Yeah.
there.
Ooh.
Staying alive
yep.
here.
I mentioned Jace getting a good lead, but really he doesn't want to get too good of a lead because he's only 90 feet away.
Right.
But he does want to get that secondary lead in case of a wild pitch.
Curveball that time. Nice block.
Good
Back there
stop.
by Hagman. Or not Hagman, but
Gorman.
Gorman. Yeah, I was expecting to see that curveball. The one he threw that for a strike here, this at bat seemed to even have a little bit less on it. Ooh, staying alive.
Heisler staying alive.
One and two.
My hands are shaking a little bit.
You're nervous?
A little nervous. It's a little tense.
There you
Oh,
go.
there's your
Right
ball
there.
game.
There it is.
It is out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Forget about that one. What a final hit by Silas Heisler.
Yeah, that was excellent job by him. He fought off a couple of tough pitches, hung in there. That ball just hung on the outside corner of the plate. He lined it out to right center field and gets the win, the walk-off win for the Raiders. And just like that, that's co-conference champs at least. But again, a nice momentum builder as we talk and head into the playoffs. A fun game, seeing double plays, especially in the same inning, back-to-back by both teams, that was exciting. I thought Hudson, certainly when they got the leadoff runner on with Matazinski, that gave him a good chance to score a run, but bang, bang, another 4-6-3 double play by the Huskies. But Silas Heisler comes through and gets the big hit. You know what? We don't do a lot of baseball games. I'm going to give my Jonesies player of the game tonight to two seniors. Bennett Brathel had an excellent game at the plate, also pitched a couple good innings here to finish up. And then, of course, Silas Heisler with that walk-off hit and RBI to win the game. So those are your Jonesies players of the game tonight. I do want to highlight these seniors, though, because this is not their last home game. It will be their last conference home game. They got one more playoff game. You want to read those off real quick, Seth? You've got kind of the details there.
Yeah, it was the 6 seniors this year. Mitchell Anderson, Bennett Brathel, Silas Heisler, Nick Hirsch, Steele Homey, Hunter Oswald, the 6 seniors this year for the Raiders.
And many of them going on to play baseball next year in college. So excellent job from them. And, guys, I had a lot of fun. Thanks for letting me squeeze in the middle of you here.
Well, anytime. You kind of lead the way. So without you, I don't know if anything's going to happen here. So.
I don't know about that.
Gentlemen, you two are brainiacs, and we could not do the game without you. Me and Ken, anyone could do our job. You two, you know the stuff, you know the drills, and you know how to call them.
Well, thank you. And we will be back. We do have a home playoff game for sure, and with an opportunity to go to sectionals. Keep an eye on the game Tuesday night. I'm sure people will be watching the scoreboard, but the winner of the Memorial and Stevens Point game will be coming to Hudson next Thursday. I don't have the date, but whatever that ends up being, a week from this Thursday. Probably
good.
like the 4th, 6th?
That's going to be June 5th.
5th, okay. I was in between it, Jeff.
Yeah, it's okay.
Right in the middle.
On average. All right.
All right, wrap it up, Jeff.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to this excellent game with Hudson Raiders going against the Eau Claire North Huskies. This has been Aaron, Seth, and Jeff in the booth, and Mr. Jeff on our camera. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good night.